What's going on, guys? Neal here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video I'm going to show you how to use the 4-2-3-1, the most meta formation post patch. I'm going to show you the custom tactics and instructions that are very specific to give you more wins in a weekend league. I've been testing this for weeks, and this is tested with gold players, silver players and elite players, so no matter what level you are, if you use this formation, these tactics, it should improve your weekend league result. The reason why the 4-2-3-1 is the most meta, and even post-patch, it's the reason why more than 90% of players use it. It's because one of the only few formations where you can attack in a 4-striker formation, or with one of your CDMs comes forward, ends up becoming a 5-striker formation. But also in contrast, when you defend in a compact 4-5-1. This is really important because when opponents are parking the bus, you need a CDM that goes forward. When you're defending, you need two CDMs to be outside your box to prevent your opponent from killing you when he overlaps. That way, it's the most stable formation in the game, and that's why it's used among all the pro players, all the top tier players. Don't forget, if you do like this video and you want to see more updates on all tactics and instructions for every single patch, and of course all my other videos, don't forget to subscribe. You can see more content like this on my channel. But without further ado, let's get straight into the tactics. Okay, now going straight into tactics, it's very important that you listen to the reasons why I choose these tactics, because these are basically modified for what's happened after the most recent patch. This is a formation to be used the entire game. The defensive style, you don't want to veer towards these two, very simply because these have been nerfed after the patch. Before I was advising it, now I would say don't go for it, because now when you use this pressure to possession loss, you're going to lose so much stamina this game, especially after the most recent patch. I'll typically just stay at balanced. If you prefer drop back, you can use drop back, but I'll say balance is the best, because don't forget, with drop back, your players, they don't react. With balance, at least your backline does react, and it gives you a good balance between somewhat being attacking but also being defensively stable as well. So you're pressing a little bit with AI, but you're not kind of exploiting your positioning or breaking your integrity. The defensive width, we brought it down to 4. The reason why is most players now are doing 1-2s, first time fake shots inside the box. When you're defending, you want to be as narrow as possible and you want to be compact. In before, when the game originally started, people were doing long balls down the wing. They're still doing that, but they're doing it to cross the ball inside the box. That's happening sometimes, but most of the time the goals are scored from inside the box. So you want to be compact as possible, and let's be honest, AI deflections are at the peak at the moment. So the more compact you are, you can argue the more deflections you'll get in your favor. In the depth, we've also reduced this down to 3. The reason why is a lot of times now, before when the game came out, people were realizing that L1 triggers going through down the line is very, very effective. But now the best way to defend is by staying compact and staying deep. We're not essentially parking the bus. We've still got 3 depth. But you'll see, if you look at most people's custom tactics, especially the top tier players, everyone veers around between 3 to 5. It's the best combination for stability, but also when you get the ball back, you don't want to be too far back. So you also want to be far back where you can basically go forward very quickly, but not too far back where you basically park the bus inside your box. So 3 gives that a good balance. And even if when you're attacking, even if you went to like 7, you won't notice that much of a difference, because don't forget, this is only your defensive width. So that way your 2 CDMs are positioned a bit more further back, and that way, have you ever found yourself in a game where your CDMs are a bit too far ahead? That will fix that issue right over there. Now going over to defensive style, now I would still recommend long ball. Now don't forget, the biggest confusion is long ball means you're playing like Stoke City. Absolutely not. Long ball just means getting behind. Don't forget, certain players like cams, they don't have a getting behind instruction. So what long ball basically means is the team just gets it behind. This makes more runs for you when you're attacking, so that way you have more players running forward. And also don't forget, we have that CDM join that attack. That long ball allows that CDM to join the attack no matter what work rates that player has. So long ball is extremely important to be very attacking. If you want to make a formation attacking, long ball is the best thing to instantly change that. For the width, we've gone with 4. The 4-2-3-1 is quite naturally quite a balanced formation. It's quite good neutrally. The reason why I've gone with 4 is a lot of the time your opponent's going to be parking the bus. You want players to be more closer together when you're inside the box, so you can distribute the ball around. You don't always want to be passing the ball down to the wing, because if your opponent is parking the bus, he's going to be very contracted, very tight in the middle of the box. You need players that are nearby you, so you have attacking outlets. That way, if your opponent does park the bus, you can just pass the ball outside and recycle the ball. With players in the box, we turn this 1 to 6. Driven crosses are still effective and prevalent this game, and I think also getting players inside the box for counter attacks are very, very important, so we put that to 6. Corners and free kicks you can use to however you want, but I use 1 just because it gives you that stability, and that way you don't get countered, because I find that most of my goals, and you're probably in the same boat as me, we're both getting countered very much from free kicks, corners, and losing the ball. So we want to eliminate that. If you ever want to drag someone forward, you can do that manually. Now going over to the instructions. Now in a 4-2-3-1, don't forget we have one the CDM to join the attack. So you end up going in a 4-striker formation. So you got your 4 players and your striker, and you got one CDM joining the attack, which makes it 5 players going forward. When you defend, we have basically your 2 CDMs and your 3 cams and your striker dropping back. So you defend in a 4-5-1. It's one of the only few formations. That's why if you try doing a 4-4-2, you'll always find there's a massive gap in midfield. That's the reason why the 4-2-2-1 is so important in this kind of year. That is why the 4-2-2-1 is so effective, especially with that cam person occupying that position to stop you being open when you're defending. Now for the striker, we've gone with stay central and balanced. I was going to put come back on offense, but I think balance is good. You don't want to be too defensive, you want a player to be on forward. I think stay central is the most important thing. The reason why is you want that central player or your marksman player inside the box. If you leave him on balance, sometimes he drifts while sometimes he swaps position. If you've got someone like Neal, someone with a 5-star weight for someone like Son, you want him there in the middle so he can score the most amount of goals. You want the statistical chance of scoring the most amount of goals with the best player there in the middle. So you got him to stay central. We haven't got getting behind. The reason why we don't have him on getting behind is, don't forget, we've got the long ball tactic. So we don't need to use getting behind. So we're going to leave this on balanced. Now, in terms of the cam, we have put him on comeback and defense. Before we had him on stay forward, but I think now because counters are so big, this cam coming back when you're actually getting countered, it's so important, because what you'll find is your CDM, your opponent's CDM will have the ball over here. He'll want to pass the ball to his striker. Your cam just coming back, dropping that position, allows you to switch to him, allows you to occupy that space, so it actually stops counter. That's the reason we've done this, not to be defensive, not to park the bus, it's to stop counter attacks. That's why we put the guy on comeback and offense, and we left everything else on balance. For the Lamb and the Ram, we have them both on comeback and offense as well. So when you defend, the Lamb and the Ram, they will come back, stops you getting doubled up, especially if your opponent's left back and right backs are going forward. But what's more important is getting to the box. I find that crossing is more important this year. So when you're going down the wing, let's say with Bamba, you kind of want the opposite person, aka Dembele, getting inside the box. When you do a driven cross, you have that person inside the box. And also, when your opponent is parking the bus, you're going to be outside. If you're going to recycle the ball, you want players inside the box as opposed to always being outside. Because don't forget, we've got the 2 CDMs outside and the CDM during the attack. So you want your attackers to be inside the box in a cross type situation. Don't forget, this is a cross type situation. And we left them on balance. Don't use free roam, by the way. It's a waste of time. Don't use free roam and they end up just going out of position. So don't use free roam. I just want to say, if you do want to get better at FIFA, I do have a paid advanced in-depth FIFA School Series. This is for all levels of those that want to improve in FIFA. This is different from YouTube videos. It's a progressive learning system where all the videos go completely in depth, and you won't find these videos on my YouTube channel. These go beyond the scope of typical YouTube videos. They're very long, elaborate videos explaining what you need to do and what you need to become a better game, explaining everything. So come join hundreds of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better at FIFA. Link is in the description for more information. Patreon.com/Neal, guys. Of course, I have all of last year's videos as well, which all apply to this year, and I'll have new videos coming soon for FIFA 21. And it's a complete money back guarantee. So if after 1 month you decide that you didn't get better at FIFA, I'll refund your money back, and that way you won't lose anything. So come join the FIFA School Series. But anyway, back to the video. Now going into the most important aspect: cut passing lanes, cover center, stay back while attacking, and conservative interceptions. I've changed this before. I didn't have cut passing lanes. I've gone back to it. I just think naturally this year, I think you probably realize this as well, EA basically made it so your CDMs just stay a bit more forward. Medium high work rates are kind of a must this year. Someone like Kante is very good. But I left these on cut passing lanes. I think they've done this to counter park the bus, but with a low depth and cut passing lane, stay back while attacking, it gives you that good stability. We have got conservative interceptions on our most defensive players. So like if you've got someone like Kante over here, your most defensive player is going to be staying back. I would say put him on conservative. That way he doesn't push out of position, especially when you're getting counter. You don't want AI to be running forward to attack an aggressive ball and then losing the battle. That way, conservative interceptions, they only go forward when there's a clear chance of them winning the ball. For the other right CDM, this is what's important. We have him on cut passing lanes, cover center. We left the interceptions on balance because when he's far forward, when you do lose the ball, you don't want him to be on conservative. You want him to be somewhat aggressive, so balance is fine. We have him on balance, attacking support. That means when you're going forward, as soon as you get the ball, these 3 players are all going to run forward and your striker is going to be there. You're going to attack in a 4-striker diamond. Then one of your CDMs is going to make that Ramsey-esque run coming late into play. It's important to have like a versatile player here. Someone like Renato Sanchez is good. Someone like Atal is also good. You know, that you can dump someone like Atal there. Someone even on a cheaper side like Fred gets the job very well there. So the player or the CDM that can attack here, obviously on the higher end, someone like Kullet would be a good example. So on a high example, someone like Vieira over here, someone like Kullet over here. And if you're going on the lower tier, someone like Sissoko over here and someone like Fred really has a good combination. But I'll definitely say go for someone attacking over here. And don't forget how they go forward. It's with that long ball tactic. That means when you get the ball, that CDM will go forward and join attack, which makes it harder for your opponent to defend against, because you're going to have 4 players up against his, I suppose you can say, back 4, and you're going to have the extra player join the attack, and that what in turn creates confusion. Now going over to our 2 CDMs here, both on stay back while attacking. People have said use conservative and aggressive. Do not touch this. Just leave this unbalanced. It is not worth touching this. I've tested this myself. Conservative just makes you too open, and aggressive puts you out of position. So leave this on default. AI kind of knows what they're doing for both the centre backs. For the goalkeeper, we left them on balance as well. I've not really gone towards anything else. I used to use I used to use caution across or comes crosses, and I used to use sweeper keeper. But you ever found that glitch when the goalkeeper just runs out and sometimes the ball just goes past him? So to avoid that, just leave that unbalanced. The left back and right back is what we have kept the same as last time. Stay back while attacking is very, very important, and overlap. Don't forget the run type is overlap, but don't forget they're always going to stay back while attacking. Overlap just means that if you do, for example, a 1-2 with, for example, Dembele, he would make an overlapping run on the outside. You don't want this to be on inverted or unbalanced, because that way he would go on the inside and it would push your winger to the far right hand side, or for example to the sideline. You don't want your most attacking player on the outside, you want him on the inside. So that's why we've got overlaps. That way when you do go forward, your fullback will overlap just like you do in real life, and your attacking or your main danger man will go towards the center. We have more conservative interceptions, because what I'm finding, and I've left this the same, is that especially when your opponent has a through ball or a counter attack, you normally get done. And I think sometimes your AI just pushes your fullbacks a bit more forward, especially with long ball. So conservative interceptions does fix that. But that is the formation tactics for the 4-2-3-1. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, I'll have more formations on my channel. If this formation doesn't work for you, come back to this video and I would say put this person on, put this, for example, this person on stay back while attacking, and then put this person on stay forward. That way you can have a 4-4-1-1 system, and that way you have your 2 CDMs there for stability, but then you'll have your striker and your cam on stay forward. So if you do find this a tad bit too defensive, you can do that instead, and you can always trigger your right CDM forward with an L1 trigger. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more videos like this, more in-depth formations and different types of formations for your specific style, and other FIFA tutorials. Don't forget I do have a second channel, Neal Guides 2, and don't forget all my social media links, including the Patreon links, are down below in the description. So just click on the description down below and you'll see all my social media links. But thanks for watching guys, take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.